I understand perfectly.
Okay, so we're just going to do a quick interview here. I don't know. Anyway, so can you tell me your name and then spell your last name for me?
Well, my full name is James David Bush. I go by my middle name, Dave, B-U-S-H.
Okay, and you arrived at Fort Eustis for OCS. Tell me about that experience.
Well, to back up a little bit, when I applied for OCS, I had just graduated from flight school. I was one of 3 aviators in our class that were warrant officers. And so I was told that if you wanted to make the Army career, probably a commissioned officer would be a better way to do that. So I applied for OCS, got accepted, went out of flight school, went to OCS. Went to Fort Knox, Kentucky for the first half and learned how to play armor-oriented soldier, which I didn't care for. And then the last half, of course, was the Transportation Corps.
So you arrived at Fort Eustis.
Yep.
Did you live in the barracks there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had my wife with me. We were married about 1.5 years at that time, and we've always made it a point that we're a team and we go everywhere together. And so we just passed 57 years of married life.
Okay. So tell me a story about OCS.
Well, as it turned out, OCS was easier than basic training. And it was because I think the folks looked at me. I had gone through 9 months of flight training and went through all the harassment and all the other stuff, in flight school. So they kind of left me alone in OCS, to be honest with you.
Did they put you in any leadership positions?
Oh yeah, I had the company commander and platoon leader and, all the typical positions. But by that time, several other candidates had already done those things, and it gave me a time to watch them and learn a little bit about what to do and what not to do.
Did you have anything that was out of the ordinary that you did during, you didn't just go to school and run. Did you get demerits? Did you have to run?
I was very military oriented in OCS. I probably was on a list of a group of people that had the fewest demerits because, again, I had done that for 9 months in flight school. I kind of got the idea of what to do and what not to do, and I tried to make OCS as easy as I could, and that's the way it turned out.
So how was the flight training, or not necessarily the flight training, but the flight section of OCS where you learned about?
Well, it was, of course, I was an Army helicopter pilot, and aviation-oriented stuff I was pretty interested in. And I didn't fall asleep in class when we were talking about that.
What did you think about the boats?
I was kind of interested in the watercraft part of OCS. Actually, I kind of liked the rail part of it too. The truck part of it, I didn't have a whole lot of interest in, but as it turned out, out of OCS, I went to the Aviation Maintenance Officers course, AMOC, and I became an aviation maintenance officer. And after I graduated from AMOC, I went to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, to a unit of UH-1 aircraft that was foreman, and we trained there for 6 months and then deployed to Vietnam.
Where were you in Vietnam?
I was initially at a place called Dao Tiang. I was with the 188th Assault Helicopter Company. Then I got promoted to first lieutenant, and a sister company in our battalion needed a maintenance officer. And so I was selected to go down and be the maintenance officer in the 116th Assault Helicopter Company. just kind of an interesting side notes. Our call sign were the Hornets. And the first flight platoon was the Wasp. Second flight platoon was the Yellow Jackets. And the gun platoon was the Hornets. Not the Hornets, but the Stingers. And I was the maintenance officer, and my call sign was the Beekeeper. So I thought that was kind of neat.
That's great.
Yeah.
So how long did you stay in the Army?
I ended up putting 25 years in,
And what did you retire as?
a lieutenant colonel.
Lieutenant Colonel. Okay. So any other stories about OCS you want to tell me? To share?
Well, you know, I'm sure other folks that you're going to interview can elaborate with more interesting things. For me, it was, I won't say it was grueling, but I enjoyed it.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. You gave me some good quotes there. That's good.
All right.
Thank you.